Hey guys, Gina here. Thanks for joining me for Let's Talk Life, the weekly live series. Normally it was, actually previously it was Wednesdays at 12 noon Eastern Time, and it has now moved to Thursday mornings at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. And so every week there's a different topic, and we'll be talking about things that just come up in life. So random topics, and we've covered like bullying and boundaries and relationships and all sorts of different things in the past. And all of those are recorded on the Facebook page, so Let's Talk Life. So today I want to talk about the importance of giving people space. And I've had multiple conversations over the last few weeks around it. Hey, Joey, thanks for joining. I'm so glad you can make it today. And so when I'm talking about space, I'm not talking about personal space like within a foot or two of getting close to someone. What I'm talking about is emotional space. And so sometimes people need space and for different reasons. So space to process what's happening, space to process what's going on in their life, space to process an incident or an issue or a situation, right? Just stepping back and need space. Or sometimes people just need space to shut down and unwind, or space to just be present in their moment with themselves. And for whatever the reason, it's natural for people to want space in any and all relationships. So whether it's intimate or it's a friend or it's family, it doesn't matter. It's very natural for people to want space. And so we're all individuals. We deserve to have our own boundaries around what we need for ourselves to thrive. But then sharing those boundaries and when we need space is important as well. Hey, Annette, thanks for joining. And so everyone's different, right? There are some people who don't want space, right? For many reasons. And others require personal space to stay in tune with themselves, with their own identity and what their body, mind, and soul requires to be nourished. So then they can step forward and really live life, right, in a healthy way. And so sometimes we just need to step back and reconnect with ourselves. And for me, that's really important. I'm a person who I need a lot of space to myself. I need time to process. I am very thoughtful when it comes to situations and circumstances. I don't just react. I step back and I take the space that I need, right? And so that's a part of it. But another part of it is also my personal growth, like really getting to know myself and discovering what my purpose was. And and now that I know what that is, it's coaching others and supporting others on their life journey, right? And so it's really just getting in tune with what you need and what you want for yourself, what your soul needs, right? Not what everyone else needs, not what society or friends or family or colleagues or a partner believes that you need. And so again, everyone is different. Some people want space, some people don't. I think I really believe that it's a requirement for anyone to have a healthy relationship with themselves and others. So, you might have a healthy relationship, but if you're not giving yourself the space and the time to step back and really absorb what's going on and getting tuned with yourself and what you need, all of the distractions in life are going to cloud your vision. And you're not really going to stay in tune with what it is that you want and desire. And that makes it challenging moving forward. And so with intimate relationships specifically, in order to have a healthy relationship, we need time to be an individual as well, right? Outside of the partnership, right? Having our own interests and our social life. And it doesn't mean we disconnect. When people take the space that they need and they're able to be creative and be themselves, relationships that are meant to be there are actually stronger. But that comes with respect for people giving each other space. And that comes with setting boundaries and being clear on what your boundaries are, right? And so in relationships that are not intimate, and it might just be with family, friends, colleagues, right? It's being clear on, I just need some time to myself for processing, whatever that means, right? So just being clear with others around you on what it is that you need and why. Because when people understand, it makes things a lot easier because you're communicating, you understand what's going on. So it's not just saying, oh, I need space. It's saying, this is why I need space. There's a lot going on and I just need to step back and decompress so I can have a healthy conversation. And then our relationship can grow. So your relationship with yourself will grow and your relationship with others will grow. It's part of the process that what we need as individuals, and whether we realize it or not, it is something that we all need. And so, having your own interests and outside of the partnerships and social life is critical. It's critical to a healthy relationship, first with yourself and then second with others. And so what do you do, right? So you identify what it is that you need. What do you need to be okay? You need time, spending time with yourself. That allows you to connect with yourself on a deeper and more meaningful level, right? So are you asking someone else for too much of their emotional energy? Are you asking too much of them, right? Are you overstepping boundaries? Or maybe they weren't clear in their boundaries. Or are others asking you for too much of your emotional energy, and you might feel like, you know what, I need to step back and I just need some space and some time to process and just be with myself, and then we can have a conversation, right? In relationships, many times we get caught up with what the other person's feeling and need, like, oh my God, what's happening here? I have to talk to this person, right? That's not exactly healthy behavior. Getting caught up in what someone else needs and feels. Now, being mindful and considerate is separate than being caught up. There's a line there, right? And this is all part of coaching. But it's unhealthy behavior for all involved. So instead, you focus on yourself and what you need and why, and really think about what it is that you need and why you need it. So if you're feeling like you need space, really, that's wonderful. You're acknowledging that you need space, but also looking deeper and understanding why that you need space, what's going on, so you can maybe set a boundary, a more clear boundary in the future, so it doesn't get to the point where it becomes, okay, I'm stepping back now. Now I need space, right? So it's just a conversation. I'm just giving myself time instead. It looks different, right? It feels different for both people, because in relationships, whether it's intimate or not, right, there are other people's feelings involved, and being mindful is important, but getting caught up in it is unhealthy. And there's the difference there. So focus on yourself and what you need and why, and then, being mindful of what others need. So personal needs must be made clear by setting boundaries and clearly explaining what it is you need and why, right? You don't have to go into depth. It could just be really high level, but when people understand, the relationship becomes stronger at some point, right? And so just being mindful of what other people need, and sometimes people need to understand why. We have a tendency to go, why do they do that? Why do they think that? Why do they feel that? Well, we're asking why because someone's not communicating clearly with us, right? And so we need to be asking that person, what's going on for you? Where did this come from? And setting boundaries for ourselves, letting others know what we need. Like, I just need space, because if I don't get it, the relationship and the conversation it's not going to come out in a productive manner. And so I need space. And that's it. And it's not about dissolving a relationship. It's about taking a step back and just being in your moment and allowing yourself to process and really think through what's going on in your life and your surroundings and the lives of others in your circle. And so that goes both ways. So understanding why space is important and boundaries with each other, it does go both ways. So being mindful of that. Be clear when you're saying what it is that you need, right? Just saying to someone, okay, whether it's intimate or not, doesn't matter. But when you say to someone, I need space, and that's it, and you end it there, that's going to be a problem for someone else, right? That might be a problem for someone else because they don't understand maybe where it came from, what space means to you, right? Is the relationship ending? What's going to happen here? And that can cause anxiety and stress and overwhelm and someone's mind to spiral because they don't understand what that means. The communication wasn't clear. Instead saying, I just need some time to myself to process what's been going on in my life and what's been coming up. Or I need some time to myself after work to unwind before I can have a conversation because I feel like sometimes I'm on overload. or I just need some downtime, right? And that goes both ways. So asking others what they need as well. And then know your intentions, right? And so speak from a caring place or caring and concern. Um, saying something like, I value our relationship and I need some time for my own to myself for my own personal growth. And so it has nothing to do with our relationship. This doesn't mean it's ending. I just need some time for me. That's all. So being clear on that. So saying something like, I just need space is going to get misconstrued. Someone's not going to understand it. They're going to assume. And the last thing we want is to have others assume what it is that we want, what it is that we're talking about, what it is that we mean, what we're feeling, or assuming what others are feeling and what they need and want, right? So eliminating the assumption and actually asking what it is you need. What will it look like when you no longer need space? How will I know, right? So if someone says to you that they just need some time to themselves, okay, I get that and I respect that and thank you for letting me know, but how will I know that when you're done with space, right? When you want to engage, will you reach out to me? Should I check in with you in a couple of days or a week or two? Like, let me know. And so then it's clear. And I'll tell you what not to do. What not to do is don't cross other people's boundaries. If someone tells you what they need, if they don't tell you why, ask them. But make sure your intention around asking them is more of concern because you want to have clarity around what's happening instead of why do you need space? What does that mean? Instead of coming off with an aggressive tone, right? Or a defensive tone. That matters. And so don't cross someone's boundaries. If you're not sure what they need or why, then ask. If someone's not being clear with you, ask. If you're confused, ask them. Be real, be authentic. Hey, I am confused. I don't understand what that means to you or for us. So can you explain? You don't have to go into detail, but just explain to me so I can understand what this actually means to you. Right? And so don't cross boundaries. Don't poke and prod and interrogate. If someone says that they need space and why, then say, okay, I respect that because I value our relationship. How will I know when when you no longer need space? It's perfectly healthy to ask them, how will you know, right? Or if it's a damaged relationship and there's something going on between you and that person or a group of people, it's still asking them, how will you know or how will I know when you're ready to have this conversation? I get that you need some time to yourself and that's wonderful and I respect that because I care about you and I appreciate you sharing that. But how will I know when you no longer need that space and that you're ready to have a conversation? Hey, Lisa. Hey, Sunny. Hey, Ed. Thanks for joining. So it's all about allowing someone to take the space that they need, but getting clarity on why you need space and then communicating that. And if someone else needs some space or some time to themselves, asking them what that means to them. Because what you might associate a meaning to taking space might be very different from what someone else believes. And so getting curious, make sure your intentions are about being curious, not assumptions. There's no need to put up a wall of being defensive when someone says, I just need some time to myself because I feel like I'm overload and this is how I process what's going on in my life, right? And so asking them about that, or if it's a relationship, it's, you know what? I need time to myself. I need some downtime. It has nothing to do with us. Or maybe I feel like I'm starting to feel claustrophobic and this is why, but explaining that. And I just need time. And it doesn't mean we are no longer going to have a relationship. It just means I need some space so we can have a conversation and then grow our relationship, because taking space for yourself and stepping back from everyone else's judgment and expectation and all these other things that life throws at us is so critical to our own personal growth. Some people don't realize that, and that's okay. Maybe one day they will. I hope that they will. But we do need it. It's a requirement for personal growth, real, true personal growth. And so it's healthy to get curious and ask people what's coming up for them. What does that mean to them? If you're not clear on something, say, I'm not clear on something, I don't understand. Can you help me understand? And I bet more than likely they will. Or they might even say, I'm not even sure what it means for me. I just know that I'm feeling claustrophobic and I need space. Right? Okay, that's it. Well, let me know. Please let me know when you're ready to have a conversation. That's all. Because I value this relationship. And when you value someone's relationship, no matter what kind of relationship it is, make sure that they know that. Make sure that that you tell them, I value our relationship, whether it's a friendship or an intimate relationship or a family, doesn't matter. It's important for people to feel valued and to know that they're valued. And they can only feel that and know that by your actions and your words. So if you value someone, tell them, right? And so don't poke, prod, or interrogate. Don't cross their boundaries. If someone's setting a boundary for themselves, respect that. And I promise you, your relationship will grow when you respect that. It might not grow in the way that you would like. So it depends on what happened and what the situation and circumstances are. But it's more than likely will grow. And so just being mindful of that. So asking and getting curious instead of assuming or letting your mind reel, because we can go into this spiral mindset of, oh my God, what are they thinking? Why are they thinking it? How could they do this? How could they feel this? How could they say, well, no, just ask. What's coming up for you? I'm confused. I value our relationship and I really just want to make sure that we're okay and that you get what you need and I get what I need. And that's what a relationship is about. And so making sure that you know when they will be ready to have a conversation. And they might say, I'm not really sure. I will let you know. And that's okay, because then you'll know they'll reach out to you. And now you have to just step back, focus on yourself, what you need, what's healthy for you, what you want, and live your life. Focus on what you need. Spending time getting to know yourself is so critical to living a healthy life with positive relationships, right? Because we can all have different types of relationships, but what do you want your circle to look like? And setting boundaries and giving people space and taking space to get to know yourself better. Because as we go through life at different stages, at different ages, we're different, we grow. I'm not the same person I was 20 years ago. So I've grown. I've created healthy boundaries. I've created a multitude of healthy and prosperous relationships that are just growing because, I communicate. Not everyone does that. And sometimes I have to, teach people how to communicate. And that's okay, because guess what? I learned, right? Life is a learning experience. It's all about learning and growing and moving forward. And so when you have positive intention, know your intention, it's a lot easier to move forward when you're connected with yourself. And so, this is about personal boundaries and the space that we all need, whether we realize it or not, as individuals, to process what's going on for our own personal growth and healing, right? And so, simply put, if someone says that they want space or that they need space, give it to them. Don't cross that line. That's a clear boundary right there. They might not be clear on why, and that might be put on you to ask them some questions. That's about, getting curious. What's going on for you? Or this is why I need boundaries. This is why I need some space, because you've crossed a line of respect for me, or you've crossed a line of a boundary, and I just need to step back a little. Whatever it is, being clear on what it is. And I promise you, when you're clear, your message will get across and your relationship will be more respected and it'll grow. And so that's the message for the day. If any of you have, or if you know someone who has an issue or some concerns or some challenges around taking space, giving space, connecting with yourself, on a deep inner level, healthy relationship boundaries, reach out to me, share this message, tag them in a post. Let me know what's coming up for you. What are some experiences that you've had setting boundaries or not setting boundaries and wishing that you had? So let's get the conversation going, right? Because we're all here, we're all on this earth. We all have wants and desires and needs. And if we're not talking about them, guess what? We're going to get stuck. So have a great day. Let me know what's coming up for you. reach out to me, share this message if you know someone who could use to hear this, or have someone message me. I'd be happy to have a conversation with someone to see what's going on and maybe how I can support them. So it all depends on where you are and what you need, and moving forward, what do you want to be experiencing in life? That's really what it comes down to. So what is it that you want to be experiencing in your relationships, with yourself, and with others? So I'm going to leave you with that. Have a great day. And thanks so much for joining in. I appreciate it. I'll see you next Thursday at 10:30 a.m. Have a good one.